hopefully that was helpful in understanding how you can build up your fundamentals, right? Now, I want to segue into how you can create a portfolio for success. And I have 6+ actionable tips-ish. I do have 6 tips. I forgot how many really. So I said 6-ish. How do I create a portfolio for success? Okay. Now, number 1 is steer your portfolio to what you want to do in the industry. Now, this is primarily gearing towards animation. For those of you guys who are more fine artists, I would say this would be the same thing, right? If you're a landscape painter and you hate painting figures, don't have a bunch of figures in your painting, in your website, right? Because then people will commission you for figures. I get the question a lot, and I've also asked the question, it's like, should I be a generalist or should I be a specialist? And I was talking to one of my friends who's an art director, and she told me, I don't think that's the right question to ask. I think the question is to start with, what is your passion and how can you make that best reflect that in the jobs that you take, right? So what do you want to do in the industry? Everyone's different. For example, for me, I love doing color keys. I love blue sky, and I love just figuring out the mood, the lighting, and the color. That's my passion, and that's my specialty. I know that's what I want to do. So my portfolio is going to more or less reflect that I have mastery over that, right? Maybe some of you guys have a passion for character design or have a passion for background painting. If so, you're going to need different skills for that. I'm going to outline that a little bit. So instead of asking if you should be a generalist or a specialist, ask yourself, what do I love doing and how can I make my portfolio reflect that? My second tip is know what skill sets your job that you want requires, right? For example, color key artists, we need to have a strong sense of color, lighting, and mood and cinematography. And you need to be able to indicate simply without being simple. Okay. And that's basically what I love doing. Like I love being able to be simple, but then when you zoom up, there's all these little complexities and, color shifts and stuff, right? So you really, really need to have a strong sense of mood to be able to know how to convey mood instantly so that when you show the director and pitch your color keys, they're sold, right? That's part of the job. BG artists have a little bit different skill set, right? You need to have a strong sense of craftsmanship, because you're working on top of layouts, right? And sometimes the layouts can be quite rough. So you still need to design. You need to be able to design your brushwork and your shapes, which aren't often the layouts. And you also need to be able to adapt to a style. Okay. So every show has a different style. So if you really, really want to work on a show, really study that style. Now, Visive artists are different from BG artists. Okay, BG artists just actually paint the backgrounds. Visive artists, I feel like they do everything from props to, blue sky to maybe some character design. So all of that you design, you need to have a great sense of design, color sense, and adaptation to different styles as well. You need to be a good designer. Now, this next tip that might be contrary to what a lot of people think is that show your sketches and your process, not just your finished paintings. And in this current portfolio projects right now that I am working with my students on, this is where they are right now. They're working on their iteration process. They're working on their sketches so that they can build up to successful finished paintings. And hopefully when they're finished, they can show everything, right? This is because of several reasons or a few reasons. First, you're giving the audience a window into your thought process, and you are showing that you can design and flesh out ideas. Okay. A lot of times when people just have finished works in their paintings, that might have been art directed by the art director. It might have been a collaboration of different artists working, in the studio, because that's often what happens. Sometimes your background is passed on to another artist and then background passed on to another artist. So it's not completely your work. So what happens is if it's not completely your work and you get hired for something that someone sees in your portfolio and you can't live up to that expectation that they hired you to, they're going to fire you or let you go, right? Plain and simple as that, because your portfolio didn't reflect your actual skill. So that's why when you show that you can have sketches that you can figure out and flesh out ideas, they go, okay, this person knows how to create an idea from scratch. They know how to refine it, and they know how to organize their sketches in a clear way. Okay. So it's all almost kind of part of your pitch board. So in a good portfolio, art directors like to see some sketches that lead up to your final painting. less is more. And I can't stress this enough. A lot of times when I look at portfolios, it's like they have 30 images and they tell me nothing. Okay. They're all okay. And it's just enough to tell me that you don't have your fundamentals down. And then that doesn't get you hired. Okay. I see that a lot. So less is more. If you can show your skill in 6 great images versus 30 okay images, that is always better. A lot of times art directors don't have all the time in the world to just sit through and scroll. It's like, does the first image wow them? If not, they're probably not going to look through. And if the second and third don't wow you, they're done. Okay. But if all of them wow you, then they're going to keep going. They're going to want looking for more, right? So it's almost kind of enticing them. So if you're looking for, if you're curating your portfolio and, you're still working on those fundamentals, don't put all those works that you've been still working on in. Just put your best work in. And of course, if you have a specific style that you want, a specific show that you're really gunning for, it always doesn't hurt to research the style of the show that you want, right? Do studies of the concept art, research the people behind the show. Go reach out to them, talk to them, ask them questions, network. But researching is really important, right? It shows that in the interview, that you have done research, maybe what the process took. This is not always the case. For example, I don't think I have a style similar to What If, the show that I worked on, but I actually evolved into more of a graphic style, what they need. And also, color keys, more or less, you don't need to be as on style of the show. It was more of they're hiring me for my color sense. So it all varies, but it's still, I would say this is still a very important thing you should do. Show your ability to studies from life and from plein air studies. I always feel like when I look at a portfolio that shows that they have solid plein air studies, that you understand how to take something from life and you understand how to, your fundamentals are solid, right? It shows that you aren't just AI. So I was talking to some art directors and they say now, yeah, because sometimes we don't know if someone's just taken an AI image and they're just painted on top of it. When you study from life, you essentially can't do that, right? Especially if you show the actual photo and your plein air study. So this shows that you actually have those fundamentals down. Okay. So last but not least, I just want to show some examples of different sectors in the industry, right? For example, if you are much more leaning towards character, showcase your characters. I'm not a character person, so I know nothing really about this, but sometimes you might have to do turnarounds or expressions, right? Or maybe even dictating, the colors of the character's costume. Show that in your portfolio, right? Maybe your passion is props and environment, right? You don't like creating big keyframes, but you really like diving into the analytical aspect of what does this prop or part of this environment look like, right? What is the shape language? What is the color scheme? So that could be very helpful as well. Show that in your portfolio if that's your skill set. Here's some other ones as well, right? From crudes. What are the different plants that are populating that environment? This shows that you can design. Layout, right? These are from Armin Serrano. If your strength is line and value, not so much color. There's some people like that. Some people don't care for color at all. I'm the opposite. I don't care for this as much. Sorry, guys, there's an airplane in the back. I'm gonna wait for that to pass a little bit. I don't even know if you guys can hear that, but it's very loud for me. So your passion is fleshing out the environment, the setting, right? And just black and white, but having really clean, beautiful line work. Showcase that in your portfolio, right? Maybe on the contrary, if you're not on the contrary, but on another spectrum, if your passion is background painting, right? And you've worked on background painting for a lot of shows, showcase that. Because each show has a different style. So it's going to show that you can adapt to different styles. Maybe your passion is keyframe painting. This is where my specialty lies, right? I love doing, keyframe paintings and color keys. That really shows that you understand lighting, color, value, everything. It shows that you can tell a story in one image. That's what keyframe paintings are for. It's these keyframe paintings that sell an important pivotal moment in the film or story. Okay. So, these are stuff from Crudes. Very, very beautiful. as you could see. So awesome lighting, fits the style more or less. And maybe your passion is not doing such big paintings, but really figure out the lighting arc and the color arc, the lighting and color arc of a sequence, which is where I lie, right? So this is also from Crudes. Okay. Now these paintings are small, but doesn't mean they're not mighty. They're small, but mighty paintings because they inform the background painters, they inform the compositors, the comp team, the visual effects team, and everything. So color keys are actually the very basis of everything that comes forward. Okay. So once you've established the lighting and color arc, for example, for our show, our vendors relied on the color keys that I did to therefore paint their backgrounds, right? And then the compositing team would rely on the color keys to how to composite the light and then the visual effects and all that. So color keys are very important, and you really have to understand, again, how to imply simply without being simple, right? How to really get the idea of the clear lighting across so that it reads for all the other teams to come. Here's just a few more examples from Prince of Egypt by Sam Mishlap. Love that film, and beautiful color keys, beautiful iterations. And here are some by from A Monster in Paris. I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to try to say it. But these are all. You can read them from far away. That's what color keys are. You read them from far away and they still read up close. But far away, you should be able to get what the lighting is, get the mood and everything from an instant read. That's what color keys do.